So today we are adding courtesy lights to a Jeep Cherokee. Now this is a 1996 Jeep Cherokee SE. It's the base model. Didn't come with really any options other than this one has the power windows and power locks, which was an option back in the day. Most Cherokee SEs, which is again the base model, didn't come with really any options, but in this case this one did. And adding courtesy lights is going to be the same if your Cherokee did come with power windows, power locks, or if it didn't. So a little backstory on this. This is a $700 Jeep Cherokee we bought off of Facebook. I've been doing a little rebuild series on this YouTube channel. If you want to go look at those videos, just obviously go look at my past videos, and there will be 2 parts to this rebuild. Anyways, so first thing you want to do is go in your Jeep Cherokee and look underneath either your driver's or passenger side dashboard, and there will be these 2 connectors. Again, if your Cherokee didn't come with the courtesy lights to begin with, there will be these 2 connectors up behind your dashboard here, just like that, in this white sleeving. Okay, there will be both tucked in here just like that up in the dashboard. And well, there will be 2 connectors here. This one right here, this is what it looks like. It has 2 wires here, yellow and pink in this case. I believe later on they changed them to red and black. There will be this connector up in that little sleeving, and that is your connector for the courtesy lights, which again didn't originally come with this Cherokee, because as you can tell, right here is where they normally mount, that little hole there. And well, there's nothing there, and there's no light anywhere underneath here. Neither on the driver's side is there one. So back in the day, they just didn't make a different wiring harness or something for these Cherokees apparently, because for example, this connector here, this doesn't have to do with the courtesy lights or anything, but it was behind this little kick panel, whatever you want to call it. Back here normally there's a panel that goes over all this wiring, but there's this connector back there, and this apparently goes to a overhead console. And well, there's no headliner in here right now, but there was no overhead console to begin with in this Cherokee, but the connector is there. So if you want to go down to like a junkyard or something and pick up an overhead console, well, you just plug it in and it'll work. So pretty cool. Really like that Jeep did that back in the day. I think it's just because they're too cheap to make a separate wiring harness for the different levels of trim in the Jeep. But anyways, so here it is. Again, this is what it looks like. So if your Jeep does have this, then you have basically the option to add courtesy lights. That's the same story on the driver's side too. It's the same way I found it on the passenger side. It was again in this white sleeving. It's again weird, but it was in there, again tucked up behind the dashboard, this lower trim area on the driver's side, and it had both of these connectors in that little white sleeving on the driver's side and the passenger side. Now, if you're wondering what this connector is for, I'm not 100% certain yet, but I believe it's for the speaker system, an optional 6-speaker system that they had in the Jeeps back then. Again, it was an option. Mine being a base Cherokee, well, it only had 2 speakers in the driver's and the passenger side. So again, I believe this is for basically a speaker, which I'm not going to do anything with. But again, here it is. This is the connector, and it does have power coming from it. I also ran a little LED bulb from these 2 leads here. I got alligator clips, stuck one in there and the other to the LED. And that, my phone ran out of storage. Anyways, so it lit up the LED whenever you put power from this to the LED, and then when you pushed in this button, it turned off the LED. So that also makes me believe that this is the connector for the courtesy lights. I also posted on the forum about this and asked around, and they said, yes, this is for the courtesy lights. So again, if your Jeep has this, you can add courtesy lights. Now in this case, I found a courtesy light set, if you want to call it that, on eBay. Here you go. This is what they look like here, in case you're wondering. this is what the courtesy lights look like. So there you go. You can see Jeep Cherokee XJ courtesy lamps under dash lights for 90 through 96. In this case, mine is a 96. And you can see there, that is what they look like. And in this case, yeah, you can see that's where they're located. And that's what the connector looks like. And then that's where it mounts right there. So I actually bought these and they're on their way now. It's going to be about 5 days until I get them. But pretty cheap, 20 bucks. And then I also ordered LEDs for it. And this is what the LEDs are. You can see there the brand and stuff. And they were just 12 bucks for 4. So hopefully they will work and be compatible. I'm pretty sure they will. But if they're not, then I'll just run down to the auto parts store and pick up some there. But you can see, again, this is what the LEDs look like. So I'll go and resume this video again whenever I go ahead and get those parts, and I'll go and show you guys how to install it. All right, so here I have the parts, or should I say part. Let's just say I ordered the wrong LEDs. Now, that's because I really could not find much about this online, and the photos of this product that I found on eBay, they didn't show the end of the bulb, so I assumed that it was round because the top of this looks round, and well, it's not. It's a little wedge, if you want to say that. Anyways, this is what the end of the bulbs look like. These fit in there perfectly fine and they work, although these are incandescent or whatever they're called. So they're not LEDs, and since I've been doing an LED swap on this entire car, I'm just going to run down to the auto parts store tomorrow, grab some LEDs, and I'll also show you installing those. So whatever, I spent 11 bucks on nothing, but you know, stuff happens sometimes. Anyways, so here's the bulbs. Again, these came with the product here. So here they are. Again, I'm not going to be using these. I'm only just going to demonstrate them for the purpose of this video. So again, here is what they look like. Here's the bracket, and then here's the wires and stuff. Here's the connector in the end, and then it doesn't matter which side goes on what. So this could be the driver's side, this could be the passenger's, or vice versa. It doesn't matter which side, they're the exact same. So I guess we could go ahead and start with this one since it has the bulb in it. I'm gonna go ahead and just plug this in on camera. And I haven't even tried this, actually. I haven't even brought these inside the vehicle yet. This is gonna be a little hard doing one hand, but let's attempt it. Yep, there you go. Look at that. The bulb is shining. And then I'm gonna press the little door thing here, and you can see it goes off. And then I let it out and it turns right back on. So there you go. It does work. So again, it clipped right into that connector, no problem. And again, it is plug and play. I believe I have to, yeah, it's not completely in yet. So there you go. Now it is snapped into place. So there you go. It's completely set. I'm going to go ahead and screw this in. Sorry about that. Got a phone call. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and screw this in and demonstrate basically how it fits up in there and how to install this. All right, so I went ahead and installed both the lights. It only took me like 5 minutes. Very simple, very easy. Now, one thing that isn't very simple, I guess you could say it was for me at least because I had the tools. The holes that came with the Cherokee, it didn't fit the screws that came with the lights that I had. Now, it might just be my Cherokee that was like that, or for some reason maybe. Or maybe even the screws that I had that came with the set wasn't the original ones from the car, because they did not fit through the hole. They were actually too small. Now, so what I did is I got a drill and I drilled right beside the original hole that you're supposed to put the screw in. Sorry, I couldn't think of the word there, for the courtesy light. So I just drilled right beside that and stuck the screw up through there, and it works perfectly fine. Now, as you can see, there is no lights on inside. And now watch this. I'll open this door. And there you go. You can see on both the driver's side, it is lit up down there. And then on this side too, it is lit up. And now you can see right there is the original hole, and then I just drilled right beside it, and you can see it is working perfectly fine. So far, so very good. Now again, this is actually, I'm kind of surprised, this is pretty decently bright for this bulb. Now, just an LED, that's going to be even brighter and even more efficient, so it's not going to drain your battery as fast. So I am quite excited to get some LEDs in this, and this will be a very cool add-on that you could do for essentially $20 if you could find the part on eBay. It's very simple, again, to install. Just make sure you have the right size bulb, and if you don't have the right size screw, again, if yours came with a screw like mine did, just go ahead and drill right beside it and use the screw that came with, or you could get a bigger screw and use the stock mounting holes if you want to do that. But I just decided to go in and drill beside it, since this part here isn't perfect or anything. It is cracked, so I wasn't too worried about drilling a hole in it on the bottom. Anyways, very cool addition. I'm not going to finish up this video quite yet. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the LEDs installed, and I'm also going to, I guess, go ahead and show you a clip of this during the night in case you want to keep these bulbs. You'll go in and see how bright they are, and then I'll also give a clip with the LEDs installed. But so far, very happy, very impressed. Again, the wiring is both the same on this side and the other side. You can't screw it up. It only goes in one way. The clip does. So very simple to install. Again, same thing on that side as the same thing on this side. So again, very happy. Go ahead and see you guys tonight. All right, so obviously it's completely nighttime outside. You could barely see anything except for the sky. Right now you're looking at the car on camera, but obviously you can't see anything. So I'm gonna go in and open the door and check this out. Even with these bulbs that would have originally basically came with the Cherokee, obviously these aren't the exact stock ones, you know, that came with them. They're pretty close, the same brightness and stuff, and they are pretty bright. So very impressed, and I can't wait till I get LEDs in here. It's just gonna look so much better. Again, those will be coming in a few days. We instead ordered them from Amazon because we didn't have any in a local store, but again, looks still pretty bright just with those normal incandescent bulbs, or whatever they're called. So very, very happy so far. Again, it'll be even brighter with the LEDs. So I'll go and wait for a few days, and I'll go and resume this video when I get those. All right, so it's a few days later, and I got the LEDs. You can see they're ETA motor. They're the same brand that I got the wrong bulbs from. Obviously that was my fault, not the brand's fault. But anyways, it's the same brand. Auto LED light. There's the label if you want to look at that. There you go. I'll attempt to link these in the description below. Again, it's pretty simple to find these. And if I remember, I'll link these in the description below. And I'm going to go ahead and come over to vehicle here. And you can see I have them installed on both the driver's side and the passenger side, and they are pretty decently bright. It didn't look like they were very bright in the day. I think that's because it's actual like white looking light instead of yellow, coming from the bulbs that originally came in here, the incandescents or whatever. Anyways, it is pretty decently bright. There's the bulb. Fit in there a little hard actually to get it in there, but I just had to push a little harder and it did go in. So I think the end, the little wedge, if you want to call that, it's a little bigger than the normal stock one, so I just had to push it in there harder for it to fit correctly. Anyways, either way, it does work. They've been on for about 10 minutes and they haven't caught fire or anything like that, so they are pretty reliable in my opinion so far. Anyways, you can see pretty decently bright. It's a lot brighter in person than on camera. Might just be because my brightness is a little lower, but anyways, you can see there it is decently bright. I also put one in the glove box here, which you can't see it because it's pretty dark out. You can see there it is working. Now, just a little side note, this mechanism here, I was having troubles with it where if I open this thing, it wouldn't turn on almost immediately, or it'd just be very, very dim. So what I did is I took this setup here, whatever you want to call it, and I cleaned the little pins on it, not for the actual bulb or for the connector, but there's a little thing here. Anyways, it goes down, and then when it comes back up, it makes a connection. So then it recognizes when the thing's open. And I just cleaned those contacts with a screwdriver and a little bit of rubbing alcohol, and it's working great now. You can see now, I push it in, take it out, it turns on immediately. So there you go, and it is working, and the camera is definitely not picking it up correctly, but that's probably just how bright it is. Anyways, you can see it's working just fine, and again, pretty decently bright. Now, one other thing that I did do is actually, for this, I'm going to shut off our garage light so then you can see it better, but I put one of those LEDs in here, so let me turn off the garage light so you can see that better. All right, so obviously the lights are off. You can see almost nothing. In fact, well, the garage light just went back on, but this one's a lot dimmer than the one that I had on previously. So anyways, you can see how lit up it is now. That's just from the garage light. Again, I'm going to go into the driver's side here, and you can see just how bright that is. Very, very bright. And I'm going to turn on the lights here. Gosh, I hate that buzzer. All of you XJ guys can probably relate. And you can see here, there you go. Definitely a little bit brighter than the normal one that was in here. And there is now an LED in there. The same ones that I used on both the glove light, or the glove box light, and the courtesy light. So there you go, pretty bright. So very nice. Gosh, I hate that buzzer, it's so annoying. Anyways, so there you go. I guess that's really it for this video. Very simple addition. The only problems that I had was that I ordered the wrong bulbs, but that was completely my fault. Other than that, very easy to install. Again, it's literally plug and play. You just plug in the connector and, well, it immediately works. Now, if you had the proper size screws, unlike me, you can mount them in that normal mount hole, whatever you want to call it. But again, I just drilled a hole right next to it and mounted them in there, and that works just fine. So there you go. Again, very simple addition. If you have an older XJ, again, this is a 96 base SE that really didn't come with any options, including courtesy lights. I thought that would have been a normal thing back then. That would have came with every vehicle, but apparently not this one. Again, very simple to add. So very happy with these. And if you can find a set of courtesy lights for a decent price, like I did, around $20, you get those bulbs for, I got them on $8 for a pack of 10. This will definitely be worth it. It's so far, at least to me, very much so worth it. So yeah, I guess that's really it for this video. Hope everybody enjoyed, and don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see y'all next time. Goodbye.